Imagine this. You're over 60. It's just another quiet afternoon. Maybe you're reading, maybe watching a little TV. No noise in the house except the soft hum of the fridge. You stand up to grab a glass of water and suddenly, something doesn't feel right. You feel a tightness in your chest, like an invisible weight pressing down. You think maybe it's indigestion, but then the pressure gets worse. You're sweating. You feel dizzy. Your left arm starts to tingle, then go numb. Your breathing changes. Something inside you knows this isn't normal. You're alone. No one is there to call out to. No one to grab the phone. No one to drive you to the hospital. Now stop for a second and ask yourself, what would you do in those first 60 seconds? Would you freeze? Would you panic? Would you survive? Most people over 60 don't want to think about this kind of moment until it happens. And by then, it's often too late. Here's the thing, most heart attacks happen at home. And for older adults, many of them happen when you're completely alone. That's not to scare you, it's just the reality. But here's the good news. There are simple things you can do right now that could literally save your life. In this video, you're going to learn 8 life-saving tips, practical, clear steps that anyone over 60 should know by heart. Some are straightforward, some may surprise you. And one is so overlooked that even most doctors don't talk about it enough. So please, stick around to the very end, because just one of these tips might be the one that saves you or someone you love. And hey, have you or someone close to you ever had a health scare while they were alone? If so, share your story or just comment "I'm here" below. You never know who might read it and feel less alone. And if you want more real, no-nonsense health advice made just for seniors, subscribe to ElderWisdom. We're all about helping you stay informed, stay safe, and stay strong. Now, let's talk about those 8 life-saving tips. Tip number 1, recognize the subtle signs. Let's start with something that catches so many people off guard, recognizing the signs. Because here's the truth, heart attacks don't always look like they do in the movies. Take Frank, for example. He's 67, retired, still active, loves grilling on Sundays. One night, he started feeling a strange burning sensation in his chest. He figured it was just heartburn. He popped an antacid, sat down, and waited for it to pass. But it didn't. In fact, the discomfort moved into his jaw, and then his left arm. He felt tired, suddenly chilled, and a little nauseous. That wasn't heartburn. That was a heart attack. See, in older adults, the signs can be subtle. You might not even feel that dramatic chest-clutching pain. Instead, it could be sudden fatigue you can't explain, dizziness or lightheadedness, nausea, pain in your neck, jaw, or even your back, or just a sense that something isn't right. Many people think a heart attack will be obvious and intense, but in reality, many start quietly. Some symptoms come and go. Some feel more like discomfort than pain. That's why so many seniors dismiss it. They wait it out, they lie down, they tell themselves they're overreacting. But ignoring those weird feelings, that's a dangerous mistake. Here's what you can do. Keep a small notebook or even a note on your phone and write down any unusual or unexplained symptoms, even if they seem minor. Pay attention to patterns. A strange fatigue after climbing stairs. Mild chest pressure that shows up when you're walking. If something feels off, don't dismiss it. Track it, talk about it, because recognizing the signs is the first key to survival. But once you spot those signs, what you do next could be what saves your life. Tip number 2, call emergency services immediately. Let's talk about what not to do next. Don't wait, don't hesitate, don't try to tough it out. Martha, 72, lives alone in a quiet neighborhood. One morning she woke up with a squeezing feeling in her chest. It wasn't sharp, but it was enough to make her pause. She sat on the edge of the bed and waited. 10 minutes passed. then 15. The pain wasn't going away, but she didn't want to bother anyone. By the time she finally called for help, she had already lost valuable time and part of her heart muscle. Here's the reality. Every single second counts when it comes to a heart attack. After just a few minutes, your heart tissue starts dying. The longer you wait, the harder it is to treat, and the greater the risk of permanent damage or death. And yet, so many seniors, maybe even you, think they can sleep it off, or wait for a family member to arrive. That's the most dangerous mistake you can make. Call emergency services immediately. Don't drive yourself. Don't wait for someone to come get you. And please, don't think you're being dramatic. Your life is worth that phone call. And here's a practical step you can take today. Keep your phone close, especially in the bedroom and kitchen where most incidents happen. If you use a mobile phone, charge it near your bed. If you have a landline, make sure it's within reach. Consider programming 911 or your country's emergency number into your speed dial or using voice commands if possible. Now, while you're waiting for help to arrive, there are specific things you can do to give yourself the best chance of staying alive. Let's go there next. Tip number 3, chew an aspirin. Here's a little story that stuck with me over the years. My uncle, a tough man in his 70s, once had a nurse friend who told him something simple, something that ended up saving his life. She said, "If you ever think it's a heart attack, chew, don't swallow." It sounded odd at the time, but when the day came and he felt that strange pressure in his chest, those words came rushing back. He reached into his drawer, pulled out a baby aspirin, and chewed it right there. That small moment, that quick decision, bought him precious time before the paramedics arrived. See, aspirin helps thin your blood. It slows the formation of clots, which is what usually causes a heart attack in the first place. But here's what most folks get wrong. You're not supposed to swallow it whole. When you chew aspirin, it gets into your system faster because it starts absorbing right through your mouth and stomach lining. Swallowing it whole takes longer to digest, and in a heart attack, time is not your friend. Now listen carefully. This only applies if you're not allergic to aspirin and don't have bleeding problems or stomach ulcers. If you're unsure, talk to your doctor and keep that guidance written down, somewhere visible in your home. And if it's safe for you, keep a small bottle of baby aspirin in your nightstand or in the drawer next to your favorite chair. Some folks even tape it to the fridge or keep it in a pill box by the phone. Make it easy to reach because when seconds matter, fumbling through drawers can cost you. Now, what if the symptoms hit you hard and you can barely move? That brings us to something just as critical. Tip number 4, stay calm and sit upright. John was 74. One morning he felt tightness in his chest. He panicked, stood up fast, tried to walk to the front door to get some air, but halfway there, he collapsed. When he came to in the hospital, his doctor told him something that surprised him. The panic did more damage than the heart attack itself. You see, panic sends your heart racing. It increases your oxygen demand. It makes your breathing shallow. It puts more pressure on a heart that's already struggling. And a lot of people make the same mistake John did. They try to get up too fast or lie down flat thinking it'll help. But here's what works best. Stay calm. Sit upright. Not stiff, but supported. Find a sturdy chair with a backrest. If one's not nearby, prop yourself up with pillows. Keep your upper body elevated. This position takes strain off your heart and lungs, helping you breathe easier and slowing down your body's panic response. And I know, staying calm sounds impossible in that moment, but take a breath with me right now. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Do it slow, steady. Focus on that rhythm. If you can practice that now, just a few breaths a day, you'll be more prepared if you ever face that moment, because your body will remember. Now, everything we've talked about so far, it's what you do in the moment. But what about the moments before anything ever happens? Let's talk preparation, your lifeline before the crisis even begins. Tip number 5, create a medical emergency card. Let me tell you about Gloria. She was 72, lived alone, and was sharp as a tack. One evening, she felt dizzy, short of breath, and managed to call for help. When the EMTs arrived, she couldn't speak. Her blood pressure had dropped, and she was struggling to stay conscious. But taped to her fridge was something that made all the difference: a simple medical emergency card. That little piece of paper spoke for her when she couldn't. It listed her medications, her allergies, her heart condition, and her emergency contact, her daughter's phone number. The paramedics used that card to treat her faster and call her daughter before they even reached the hospital. See, a lot of people believe their medical info is in the system. But here's the hard truth. In an emergency, there's no time to dig through digital records, especially when you're alone. So do this today, not tomorrow. Write down your full name, date of birth, list of current medications, allergies, medical conditions, and emergency contacts. Print it clearly or type it out. Put one copy on your fridge, another in your wallet, and maybe one in your bedroom drawer. If you take blood thinners, write that down. If you have a pacemaker, list the brand. If you're allergic to penicillin, highlight it. It's not just paperwork, it's a lifeline, one that can speak for you when you can't. And speaking of lifelines, what if help is on the way but they can't get to you? Tip number 6, keep doors unlocked if you can. Let me paint you a scene that's far too common. Sarah, 75, felt a crushing pressure in her chest. She managed to call 911, but by the time help arrived, she was lying on the floor, conscious but too weak to move. The front door was locked. The paramedics had to break in, and it took over 5 minutes. 5 minutes of delay. 5 minutes her heart couldn't afford to lose. You see, when you're in crisis, you may not be able to move. You might not be able to crawl to the door or even yell for help. And yet, those first few minutes are critical. Every second without treatment can lead to more damage, more complications, or worse. Now, some folks say, well, I'll unlock the door after I call. But the reality? Many people collapse within those first moments. And even if you think you'll have the strength, you may not. So here's what you can do. If you feel something's wrong, if you've called 911 and suspect it's your heart, unlock the door immediately. Do it before you sit down, before you chew that aspirin, before you lose your strength. Just unlock it and leave it slightly open if it's safe to do so. You can even consider a lockbox with a code you give to emergency services. Some seniors use smart locks they can open from their phone. Whatever works best for you, make it part of your emergency plan, because no one should lose precious minutes when help is just outside. And speaking of things that can help in a big way, there's something else, something you probably already have with you right now. It could mean the difference between isolation and connection in a moment of crisis. Tip number 7, use a voice assistant or medical alert. Let me tell you a true story I'll never forget. A woman in her early 60s, her name was Carol, was alone in her kitchen when the pressure hit her chest like a wave. Her arms felt heavy, her knees buckled, she couldn't even make it to her phone. But she remembered something her daughter had set up months earlier. She gasped out one sentence, "Alexa, call 911. That command saved her life. See, smart devices like Alexa or Google Home and medical alert systems like Life Alert or Apple Watch, they're not just for show. They're not just for folks in their 80s. They are for anyone who lives alone or spends a lot of time without someone nearby. Now, a lot of people still believe, oh, that's not for me. I'm still strong. I can handle myself. But heart attacks don't care if you still mow your own lawn. It's not about age. It's about preparation. Devices like these are lifelines, especially if your phone's not within reach or your hands stop working properly. Many smart devices can be activated by your voice. Some can even detect a fall and call for help automatically. But, and this is important, don't just set it and forget it. Test your emergency commands monthly. Make sure your smart assistant knows what call 911 means. Program emergency contacts. Learn the exact phrase that triggers help. You don't want to be fumbling for words when every second counts. And now, we come to something that costs nothing. It doesn't plug into a wall or fit on your wrist, but it might just be the most powerful tool you have. Tip number 8, practice mental rehearsal. You know Tom, he's 69 now, used to say, "I'm not paranoid, I'm prepared." Once a month, he'd sit quietly with a cup of coffee and just walk himself through a what-if scenario. He'd ask himself, what if I felt chest pain right now? What would I do first? Where's my aspirin? Is the door unlocked? Is my phone close by? He did that for years, never thinking he'd actually need it. But then it happened. A quiet Sunday morning. He was alone, reading the paper when it hit. The ache, the shortness of breath, the sweaty palms. He didn't panic, he didn't freeze. His body already knew what to do because his mind had rehearsed it. Mental rehearsal. It's not silly, it's not morbid, it's empowering. It's like a fire drill for your heart. By practicing what to do in an emergency, your brain creates a clear path for action. It keeps panic at bay. It makes you quicker, sharper, calmer. So here's my advice. Take 5 minutes once a month. Sit down and walk through the steps in your head. Recognize the signs. Call 911. Chew your aspirin. Unlock the door. Sit upright. Use your voice assistant. Grab your emergency card. Breathe. You're not obsessing. You're rehearsing survival. And when the moment comes, you won't be guessing. You'll be ready. Because sometimes the only difference between a tragic ending and a second chance is what you do before it happens. I know. Thinking about heart attacks, especially when you're on your own, can bring up a deep kind of fear. It's a fear that sits heavy in your chest, almost like the very thing you're worried about. And then there's the thought of facing it all alone. No one there to hear you, no hand to hold. It can feel downright overwhelming. But here's the thing. Fear isn't a weakness. It's not something to run from or hide. Fear is a signal, your body and mind's way of saying, pay attention, prepare yourself. And now you do have the tools to meet that fear, not with panic, but with strength and clarity. You can respond with calm, knowing exactly what to do when seconds matter most. This isn't just about surviving a moment. It's about taking control of your health, your safety, your life. It's about turning those scary thoughts into a clear, actionable plan. So here's what I want you to do next. Print out that medical emergency card. Talk to your doctor about whether aspirin is right for you. Set up your voice assistant or medical alert device so it's ready before you need it. These aren't big, overwhelming tasks. They're small, simple steps that could quite literally save your life. Remember this, you're not powerless. You're prepared, and that changes everything. Growing older doesn't mean you're more vulnerable. It means you're wiser. You've earned the right to live safer, smarter, and with peace of mind. Let's take a moment and quickly recap those life-saving steps. First, recognize the symptoms. Don't brush off fatigue, nausea, or jaw pain. Second, call emergency services immediately. No waiting, no hesitation. Third, chew an aspirin if it's safe for you. Don't just swallow it whole. Fourth, sit upright to help your breathing and blood flow. Fifth, unlock your door after calling 911. Make it easy for rescuers to reach you. Sixth, use a voice assistant or medical alert system. Let technology lend a helping hand. And finally, practice mental rehearsal. Know your plan so well it becomes automatic. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been through a health scare alone? Or maybe you've witnessed someone struggling. What did you wish you could have done? And if you haven't, what's your plan now? Go ahead, share your story or your thoughts down in the comments. We read every single one. Your experience could be the hope or help someone else needs today. If this video gave you even a little more confidence or peace of mind, please hit that subscribe button at ElderWisdom. We're here to walk this journey with you, helping you live longer, stronger, and smarter every single day. Thank you for taking the time to watch and learn. Remember, stay calm, stay wise, stay safe. You're not alone. Not now, not ever. Because here at ElderWisdom, we face aging together.